Mic check, mic check. Mic check, good. All right. Now, let's see what we got going on over here. Okay, that's looking good. It's looking good. So, hold on, let me move this. Put that motherfucker right over here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I'm gonna see. I know where to drop. Y'all know where to drop the Cash App at. So the Cash App is just for donations. You know what I'm saying? It's strictly a suggestion, but I definitely appreciate it. Damn, why does the camera keep moving? All right, so yeah, well, I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, so the camera. I said the camera. The Cash App. That's directly straight for donations. So hold on. Let me a second, y'all. Let me share this live out. I ain't even shared the live out yet, and I gotta let TikTok know. So brief little and just give a brief intermission real quick. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I can't go live on my page here, but you can rock with me. I'm live on YouTube right now. Click the link in my bio and slide over there, man. Rock with me, man. We finna talk about why they flooded the lakes. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I can't. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I can't go. No, I'll do it over. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I can't go on live on TikTok right now. Tomorrow I will be able, but for now, just go ahead, slide over to YouTube and shit. Hit the link in my bio. Slide over to YouTube real quick, and we're gonna talk about how they. Okay. That's I gotta do it. I gotta do it faster because it's only 15 seconds. All right. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I can't go live on TikTok, so go ahead slide over to my YouTube channel, man, and we going live over there. The link is in my bio, and we talking about why they flooded all these black towns to make these lakes. All right, so slide over there, man, real quick. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I. What's up, y'all? So y'all know I can't go live on TikTok, so go ahead slide over to my YouTube channel, man, and we going live real quick. You feel me? All right, so did it like that. Boom. But I still gotta make sure that they post it because you know how that goes. This is 78% uploading. All right. Well, we almost there. Come on, man. There we go. All right, it's uploaded now, so I can slide. You know, I gotta slide out the app real quick. Um, let me go ahead and go to the page. The actual. Let me go to the actual page real quick. Um, live. All right, all right. Hold on, let me see the chat. Let me see the chat. Okay, okay. Ain't nobody chatting in there yet. Okay, cool, cool. The live viewer is me. So I just want to take this link and share it real quick. There we go. Share. Let's share it to Facebook. Make sure you come check me out on my live on YouTube. Fuck it. All right, I just came across something real quick. So before we jump into that, I'm gonna go ahead and read this off real quick. So, signs you're forcing that relationship. All right. So they say no spark, just back and forth to pass time. Um, if you didn't reach out today, would y'all even talk? You might want to check that because you might be forcing it, right? You're always adjusting or shrinking just to keep the vibe going, right? Forcing it. right? So you feel like you're putting more in than the other person, forcing it, still forcing it, right? All right. So then you know things not adding up, but you just keep justifying their behavior. Sounds a bit forcible to me. You know what I mean? You're always the problem. Let them tell it. Forcing it, right? Right. Think about the pros and cons. Does the bad outweigh the good? You're not growing together. You're more in love with the potential than the reality. You're given one more chance. You know what I'm saying? Your boundaries are repeatedly crossed. Do they even respect you? You know what I'm saying? You could be forcing it. Just saying. And that just came up. Damn. Oh shit! I didn't know it was administrative questions. What the fuck? Okay. I'll get up with them later. I thought I was trying to do something, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let me get back to sharing this live, bro, so we can have some more viewers, man, cuz I'm just trying to make sure that the people come slide on us. You feel me? Come slide. Come fuck with your boy now. On God. Um I still ain't some money. I ain't even done eating yet. Whole time. But after them bites, I low key think I am. Low key. Low key for sure. Now, um, I'm gonna say talking about some now, and I ain't even. You know what I mean? That's alright. Let me send this shit off real quick. Let's talk about it. Cause I'm free, free falling. Oh yeah, that was a different one. Cause I was playing a game on that one, right? Just give me a second, y'all. Y'all know I gotta send these out one by one. You know what I'm saying? Cool, cool. Bet, bet. Say less. Huh? I should just play some music, huh? It's the least I could do, huh? Hmm. play a little background music for now. Um, until I get everything situated. Just give me a
Education's
little
never
bit
been
more,
one size fits all.
and
That's why
I'm
at
just trying to send
Wisconsin
this
Virtual
out to a
Academy,
few more
our
people,
state
and then we
certified
gone. We gone after that. All right. I'll give you some background music though, a little bit. Yeah. Where's the stupid number? Because I ain't got this number saved. That's what it. That's what I'm. I don't, yeah. Woo, it's hot. All right, let me turn my fan back on. Shit. Oh yeah, that's why I turned it off. I was finna smoke. Damn. Well, I guess it gotta stay on. All right. Let's see how many people we got up in here right now. One. Okay. Two. Okay. Okay, we in here. That's what's up. Let me get to this chat. Hey man, if y'all in here, man, drop some threes in the chat, man. Drop some threes in the chat. 1, 2, 3. Drop some threes in the chat. All right. I'm about to get this show started, man. As soon as y'all start dropping some threes in the chat, I'm gonna get this show started, man. Till then, it don't seem like nobody in here, so you know it's kind of pointless to get started when ain't nobody in here. You feel me? So I'm just saying. Don't you wish that you could just... Let me stop. What time is it? Okay. I'll see that in the chat. That's why I'm just going live anyways, you know what I'm saying? I forgot I'd just be on this bitch. I ain't got too much to do right now, and I'm working on some shit, so, you know, y'all might watch me work on something, but I ain't gonna show you, like, the back end of it. Because that defeats the point purpose, you know what I'm saying? That defeats the whole purpose. So, yeah. Go tap it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Should go live on Instagram too while I'm at it. Oh yeah, matter of fact. What up, y'all? I just wanted to let you know we live on YouTube. Go ahead, get over there. Get over there. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man, you know, I got the setup together. I had to put it together real quick, you know. And this is like intermission, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some people in here so that they can, you know what I'm saying, tap in. I'm on live on Instagram right now, trying to get them to come through. But yeah, for sure. I see the text, and I just, you know, like I said, I'm on live. But yeah, for sure. Let me see if I can still respond, cause I'm me. So yeah, we about to get to him. We about to get into him. Now I know, right there. I know you see that right there. A little bit. Hold on, my friend. Up there. You got some donations? You got some Right there, man. Right there, bro. It's right there. Right there. Stop acting like you don't see it. It's right there. Go ahead and donate to that Cash App, man. For real. But yeah. So shit. Without further ado, let's go ahead and tap in. We finna cut this out. Yeah, just go ahead. We done with that. We're gonna go ahead and jump back in over here. The untold history of the flooding of black towns to make lakes, right? That's what we talking about, right? So a lot of people don't know. Did you know what I'm saying? The lakes, all the lakes across the motherfucking country, all them lakes is basically burial grounds. You know what I'm saying? They like yeah, they burial grounds. Like, it's so many bodies under them lakes, bro. You don't even know. Like, your ancestors, they killed them, unalived them. I guess I can't say that on here, but they unalived them on when they was doing the takeover. When they was doing the takeover, they unalived a lot of people. Where all them bodies go? Huh? That's a lot of bodies that, like, it ain't like they popped up here and it was a few people here, right? It was a whole bunch of people, right? So ain't no. Hold on, let me get over here real quick because I ain't see. I might miss something. Come on now. Oh, see, I did miss something. What up, yo? What up? Red Gang 051. Yeah. So yeah, what's going on, man? You know, I'm talking about how they did us, man. We finna show it off. So look, a lot of these bodies of water that we call lakes, right, were dumped. Like, all that water was dumped in there, bro. Like, that shit dumped in grave sites. Like, them was all. That's all. Look at that big ass Great Lake Michigan. Do you know how many bodies? Bodies. Like, you know what? We just gonna roll the video because I can't even articulate it right now. I can't even do it right now. But look, for real, any lake in this country is basically a grave site, and they just pour water over it to cover all the bodies. Craziness. But let's get started. I ain't even seen this video yet, but I wanted to watch it, and I figured, you know what, since I'm finna watch it, guess what? Y'all finna watch it with me. Y'all finna watch it with me. All right, now let's go.
It's no mistake to say that the U.S. is a country that went from enslaving black people to wiping out the communities they built post-slavery. Today, most of its white citizens are prohibiting the teaching of that history while simultaneously promoting a false account of that history.
Over the past couple years, more Americans have become familiar with the story of the Tulsa Race Massacre, where a white mob burned a vibrant black community to the ground, which is crazy. Even crazier, dozens of other black towns have been erased off the American map,
Right.
not by burning them down, but by hiding them underwater.
Imagine a world where the very foundations of your community are deliberately destroyed, where the memories of your ancestors are submerged beneath the waves, and where the price of progress is paid in the currency of displacement and despair.
If we've learned one thing today, it's never assume something is unsinkable.
This is the heartbreaking reality that has haunted countless black towns across America, forcibly flooded and drowned to create lakes, reservoirs, and other waterways.
There are over 100 drowned American towns, and many were destroyed in the name of something called development-induced displacement. That's when people have to leave their homes so the government can develop things like dams or parks or lakes.
The stories of these devastated communities, hidden beneath the surface of America's tranquil lakes, are a testament to the nation's troubled past, a past marked by systemic racism, environmental injustice, and the erasure of black identity, and communities that thrived against the odds, building their own schools, churches, and businesses, integrating patiently in surroundings that has done nothing other than enslave and despise them unendingly.
This being appeared,
Oh, damn.
over 6 foot tall.
Y'all know I ain't
had
paid
a
my
very
bill, man.
large elephant nose.
I ain't paid my bill, but
These
we
drowned
cool. We gonna
towns
keep going.
are
We keep
part
going.
of the black American history they don't want to teach you. It's ugly and it's gross and we don't even know all of it. And the more we find out, the harder it is to love this place that would do those things to so many people.
In this video, we'll be taking a full dive into the painful histories of black towns that were flooded to make lakes and honoring the legacies of those who called them home. We shall further explore the complex web of racism.
Flooded to make lakes. But that ain't it. It wasn't flooded to make lakes. The lake, you know what I'm saying, was the project. The lake was the burial ground that they had to dump all these bodies in.
Politics, and environmental exploitation that led to these tragedies, amplifying the voices of those who fought to preserve their communities and way of life. Before we continue on this painful and memorable chapter of history, kindly consider offering your support by hitting on the thumb button. Share this video with your friends, families, and associates at large. Also subscribe to our channel if you are yet to, in order to access more eye-opening and mind-blowing contents on hidden black narratives. Now let us uncover the history of the sad erasure of 20 black towns, amongst a whole several other lots of them, that were drowned and turned into lakes, turning the blacks in these towns hopelessly displaced, beginning with number 1, Oscarville, Georgia.
This is Lake Lanier. It's a lake in Forsyth County, Georgia, where
That's one of the most famous, most haunted lakes in the country. Facts. There is a whole entire fucking community under that lake. There's trees under that lake. There's everything. A whole motherfucking crib, bro. A whole city, a whole town. Like, you.
people go swimming and boating and fishing and do a bunch of other lakey things. But before it was Lake Lanier, it was a town called Oscarville, Georgia.
On August 3rd, the body of a 27-year-old man was found in Georgia's Lake Lanier. Days earlier, he had disappeared and drowned while swimming. The week before, another man drowned in the lake, and a few days before that, on July 27th, a 24-year-old jumped into the lake where he was electrocuted and later died. For folks who are familiar with Lake Lanier, a Georgia landmark, these tragic deaths aren't surprising. Over the years, hundreds of people have died there, making Lake Lanier one of the deadliest lakes in the United States. Christmas Day, 1964, is known as the deadliest day at Lake Lanier, when a driver lost control of their car while crossing a bridge. The car then flipped into the lake, where 5 children and 2 adults drowned. In 2012, the 11-year-old son of Tamika Foster, Usher's ex-wife, died at Lake Lanier. During the 11th anniversary of her son's death, Foster launched a petition to drain, clean, and restore the lake. Bearing in mind its history, one can only imagine what will be found if Lake Lanier is drained. Lake Lanier is a man-made 38,000-acre lake that attracts about 10 million visitors every year, bringing in a whopping sum of about $5 billion annually to North Georgia's economy. The lake is located in the affluent Forsyth County, which has the highest median income in metro Atlanta. Lake Lanier is a popular weekend destination known for fishing, boating, and so much more, including an eerie reputation
spooky stuff
that has
happening
deemed
over
it
there
as
in the area.
haunted in Georgia. This fact is especially interesting, considering that the body of water covers what was once a thriving black community called Oscarville. The community, formed during the late 1800s, was filled with successful farmers, carpenters, and blacksmiths, until Oscarville's more than 1,000 residents were violently forced out by white Forsyth County residents.
Oscarville was a thriving, predominantly black community with a church, a school, and dozens of homes, until the year 1912, when a very bad thing happened.
The lake story perpetuates deep into the happenings of September
Very bad things stay
1912,
happening in America
when
to
an
black people.
18-year-old white girl named May Crow was found injured after being assaulted in the woods less than a mile from her family's home.
Hold on.
The wounds had...
Hold on. Let's not act like we don't see this same playbook every fucking time, bro. This the same play. They've been running the same play the whole game. The game ain't over. You know what I'm saying? The game been taking centuries, but they've been running this same play. Look at this shit. White girl in distress or found something up fucking well or missing. Even missing. Let you come up missing, white girl. They coming. And they showed that with that when they did that one white girl that got that came up missing with her boyfriend a long time ago, and they pushed that shit all across the news. FBI and everybody was looking for this little white girl. I'm like, what? And then she ended up they found her and shit. Then they the dude, they found him and he ended up killing himself, but or unaliving himself. I'm gonna have to get my vocabulary written together for YouTube. But yeah, man, stop playing. Listen, they've been running this same play back to back since the beginning of time. Little white girl end up hurt, injured, or missing, or whatever the case may be, and they bringing out all the motherfucking dogs, bro. They don't play this the same shit. This ain't changed. This ain't never gonna change. You see these motherfuckers catching cases by these white women, bro. This shit ain't changed. The game might have changed a little bit. They might have repackaged it a little bit different, but it's the same fucking shit. I promise you now. They ain't got a fucking. Now they got the social media to do it. You know what I'm saying? They get your own. They gonna convince your own people to turn against you and drag your ass. Bro, this shit wild. This shit wild. But look, I was just like, damn, they running the same play again? Hold on, again?
Oscarville's more than 1,000 residents were violently forced out by white Forsyth County residents.
Oscarville was a thriving, predominantly black community with a church, a school, and dozens of homes, until the year 1912, when a very bad thing happened.
The lake story perpetuates deep into the happenings of September 1912, when an 18-year-old white girl named May Crow was found injured after being assaulted in the woods less than a mile from her family's home. The wounds had been so severe that she later died, and as such, couldn't tell the tale of her ordeal in the woods. Despite the absence of witnesses or evidence, a 24-year-old black man, Rob Edwards, was arrested, but he was later taken from the county jail by a mob of white residents, brutally beaten with crowbars, shot repeatedly, and dragged to the town square, where his mutilated body was lynched on a telephone pole. Additionally, Edward's wife, Jane Daniel, their neighbor Ed Collins, Jane's cousin Oscar Daniel, and Oscar Daniel's cousin Ernest Knox were arrested. Knox and Oscar Daniel, both teens, were convicted by all-white juries before being hung in front of about 5,000 spectators. After the trials and executions, white men known as
5,000 spectators. They love this shit. Boy, they was out there with smiles. They was out here with potato salads with raisins in it. You know what I'm saying? They was out here with all, boy, this was they shit, and they ain't changed. They ain't changed a bit. Only thing is they just waiting on us to do it to ourselves so they can watch it online type shit. But boy, they're sick. They some sick motherfuckers, boy. And these the motherfuckers running the country to this day. Them guys. Hold on, no, it's this way. Hold on. Let me get my finger together. Where's my fucking camera? Okay. Hey, I had to force it to find it, right? Them guys. I'm funny as hell. Anyway, carry on.
Night riders forced black families out of their homes by bringing their land, churches, and schools down to nothing but ashes.
The county went from having over 1,000 black residents in 1912 to 0 in 1920. After the black community had been run off, the white people of Forsyth County said, you know what we could use? A big old lake. So they made one, right where the town of Oscarville had just been. They flooded the area and literally covered up the entire town with water.
By the late 1950s, what was once Oscarville was flooded for the creation of Lake Lanier.
With Google Workspace, you can create a Gmail account with your own domain.
They like, come on, pay us now.
This is what it looks like right now. But the town is still under there. The homes and churches and schools, they're still down there. And now people go boating on top of them.
According to historians, many of the community structures were not removed, including unmarked graves. And in a recent CNN report, a longtime diver, Buck Buchanan, claimed that he sometimes felt body parts in the lake while underwater. He expressed that one could reach out into the dark and feel an arm or a leg, and it doesn't move. Decades after the incident, in 1987, on an episode of The Oprah Show, Oprah Winfrey visited Forsyth County, which at the time hadn't had a black resident in 75 years. And today, only 4.9% of the county's population is black, 9.7% is Hispanic, and an overwhelming 72.6% of the...
Because why the fuck would I move out there? You feel me? Like, why the fuck would I take my black ass out there when y'all just did this shit to my peoples? I'm not coming out there. The fuck? Why? So y'all the same motherfuckers that was there then, that's there now, and at least push the same message to your kids, who I know they pushing it to, man, stop playing with me. Ain't nobody going with that fuck shit. Hell yeah. They look, that's a motherfucking, that's a brave, 4.9%. That's a brave 4.9%. Cause listen, I promise you, I ain't taking my ass out there to fuck with them folks that just did this same shit to my peoples and not letting they come out me. Like, what you gonna do to me? Man, knock it off.
The residents are white, with 63.9% identifying as non-Hispanic white people. Number 2, Coahuila, Benson, Alabama.
Ever heard of Coahuila, Alabama? It was once a thriving black community with a black college, the first black railroad, and literally hundreds of family homes. Today, it's Lake Martin. At least they had the decency to name it after a black person.
Coahuila, Alabama, nestled along the shores of Lake Martin in Tallapoosa County, holds a unique place in the history of Alabama. Coahuila was founded by an enslaved individual named John Jackson Benson, who later became a freeman. On gaining his freedom, he went on a journey to rescue his sister in Florida, who was separated during slavery, and they made their way back to Alabama, where John worked in coal mines, and after earning $100 from his work, he used the money to purchase a portion of the land he was enslaved on. After purchasing the land, he worked the land until it yielded a profit. Then he used the profit to buy more of the land. He repeated the process until he owned about 3,000 acres of the land. Benson soon built a farmhouse, sawmill, cotton gin, grist mill, brickyard, and school, helping Coahuila to grow into a community that housed black and white families. The community is a home to the first black-owned railroad started by William E. Benson and the black school Coaliga Academic and Industrial Institute. John Benson's son, William E. Benson, was the founding president of the Dixie Industrial Company. The Dixie Industrial Company was able to succeed by exporting lumber to Europe. Unfortunately, the company lost financial control due to their exporting ports being closed because of World War II, and Benson was replaced as president by the company's largest stockholder. The case was later taken to court, but the Dixie Industrial Company was eventually lost. Coaliga's hopes for future growth came crashing with the construction of Martin Dam on the Tallapoosa River in 1926. The Martin Dam was constructed by the Alabama Power Company to generate hydroelectric power. The dam created Lake Martin, one of the largest man-made lakes in the United States at the time of its completion. The creation of Lake Martin brought significant changes to the region. One of the biggest changes was the closing of the Coaliga community. The residents of Coaliga were displaced by the building of the Martin Dam and the financial troubles that were caused by the exporting ports being closed. Once the Martin Dam was completed, the flow of water from the dam flooded the community of Coaliga, leaving another black-owned community underwater. Number 3, Seneca Village in New York City.
And if you think this kind of thing only happened in the South, let me introduce you to
Central Park in New York. Yup, that was one.
A place called Central Park. Central Park used to have a black community in it called York Hill. But the city of New York destroyed York Hill so that they could build the Central Park Reservoir. Because if there's one thing New York needs, it's another place for ducks to hang out. When the residents of York Hill were kicked out of their homes, they fled to another black community nearby called Seneca Village. And then a few years later, New York destroyed Seneca Village too, so that they could build Central Park on top of it.
Before Central Park was created, the landscape along what is now the park's perimeter, from West 82nd to West 89th Street, was the site of Seneca Village, a community of predominantly African Americans, many of whom owned properties. By 1855, the village consisted of approximately 225 residents, made up of roughly 2/3 African Americans, 1/3 Irish immigrants, and a small number of individuals of German descent. One of few African American enclaves at the time, Seneca Village allowed residents to live away from the more built-up sections of downtown Manhattan and escape the unhealthy conditions and racial discrimination they faced there. The village was founded in 1825 when landowners in the area, John and Elizabeth Whitehead, subdivided their land and sold it as 200 lots. Andrew Williams,
Eve Online is a vast universe.
I'm trying to skip them commercials and shit. I'm skipping this motherfucker.
A 25-year-old African-American shoe shiner bought the first 3 lots for $125. Also, Epiphany Davis, a store clerk, bought 12 lots for $578 and the AME Zion Church purchased another 6 lots. From there, a community was born. From 1825 to 1832, the Whiteheads sold about half of their land parcels to other African Americans, and by the early 1830s, there were no less than 10 homes in the village. There is a couple pieces of evidence that shows that residents had gardens and raised livestock in Seneca Village, and the nearby Hudson River was a likely source of fishing for the community. A nearby spring, known as Tanner's Spring, provided a water source. By the mid-1850s, Seneca Village comprised 50 homes and 3 churches, as well as burial grounds, and a school for African American students. For African Americans, Seneca Village offered the opportunity to live in an autonomous community, far from the densely populated downtown. Despite New York State's abolition of slavery in 1827, discrimination was still prevalent throughout New York City and severely limited the lives of African Americans. Seneca Village's remote location likely provided a refuge from this climate. It also provided an escape from the unhealthy and crowded conditions of the city and access to more space both inside and outside the home. Compared to other African Americans living in New York, residents of Seneca Village seem to have been more stable and prosperous. By 1855, Approximately half of them owned their own homes. With property ownership came other rights not commonly held by African Americans in the city, namely the right to vote. The fact that many residents were property owners contradicts some common misperceptions during the mid-19th century that the people living on the land slated for the park were poor squatters living in shanties. While a few residents lived in shanties and in crowded conditions, most lived in two-story homes. Census records show that residents were employed, with African Americans typically employed as laborers and in service jobs, the main options for them at the time. Records also show that most children who lived in Seneca Village attended school. By the early 1850s, the city began planning for a large municipal park to counter unhealthful urban conditions and provide space for recreation. In 1853, the New York State Legislature enacted a law that set aside 775 acres of land in Manhattan from the 59th to the 106th streets between 5th and 8th Avenues to create the country's first major landscape public park. The city acquired the land through eminent domain, the law that allows the government to take private land for public use with some compensation paid to the landowner. This was a common practice in the 19th century and had been used to build Manhattan's grid of streets decades earlier. There were roughly 1,600 inhabitants displaced throughout the area. Although landowners were compensated, many argued that their land was undervalued. Ultimately, all residents had to leave by the end of 1857, and with that, the Seneca Village was torn down for the construction of Central Park. The only thing that remains of the community is a commemorative plaque, dedicated in 2001 to the Lost Village. Number 4, Susanna, Alabama. Beneath some of Lake Martin's deepest waters, the Blue Creek town of Susanna was a thriving business center before the construction of Martin Dam nearly 100 years ago. According to Alabama Living magazine, more than 900 bodies were moved from cemeteries before the land was submerged. The town once included a gold mine, a school, 2 mercantiles, a grist mill, a flour mill, a sawmill, a blacksmith shop, and a church. Number 5, Vanport, Oregon. A perfect storm of racism, poor urban planning and flood management, bad weather and community history conspired to construct the Vanport disaster. As World War II ramped up, Portland shipyards began pumping out ships as fast as they could. Laborers flocked to Portland for the abundant shipyard jobs, and so workforce housing was desperately needed, especially for black workers, who were excluded from living in most Portland neighborhoods by racist policies and laws. Located between Vancouver and Portland, Vanport was a massive wartime housing development built to address the region's pressing need for affordable accommodation. Constructed in a remarkable 110 days, Vanport consisted of 10,000 inexpensive units, situated on a diked floodplain of the Columbia River. Vanport grew to be the largest black community in the state, home to institutions like the Vanport Extension Center, which later became Portland State University. After the war, residents started to move out of Vanport to areas with greener pastures, but other housing options were still limited for black people and other people of color, such as Japanese Americans who had been released from internment camps. So, many of them stayed back. By 1948, the Vanport population included 12,600 whites, 5,000 African Americans, and 900 Japanese Americans. Then came the flood. In late May 1948, snowmelt and heavy rainfall caused the Columbia to rise and overflow its banks. Despite being in a floodplain, Vanport was not evacuated. Even worse, residents were specifically told that they were safe, therefore leaving the human residents unevacuated. Moreover, hundreds of horses stabled at a nearby racetrack were removed before the flood. The tragic result led to the loss of many lives and the total destruction of the Vanport development. The flood not only destroyed physical homes and everything in them, but also scattered a vibrant community. Number 6, Eureka, Montella, and Lackawack. To provide water for New York City, the construction of the Rondout Reservoir displaced the 3 growing African American communities of Eureka, Montella, and Lackawack that were in the area. All structures were removed, all fences, trees, hedges, even tall weeds and roads were dug up to maintain the purity of the future water supply. Property owners were required to put in claims for the value of their lands and were usually paid less than half of the asking price. Provision was also made to pay 6 months' lost wages for resulting loss of employment in businesses closed because of the project. An attempt by the village of Ellenville to stop the reservoir on the grounds that it would hinder the future public health, welfare, and development of the village did not succeed. To add salt to injury, residents were denied easy access to the new roadways by the placement far within the taking line, although the local towns attempted to fight this in court. In the end, the interests of New York City and its need for water trumped the concerns of the locals. Number 7, Willow Grove, Tennessee.
Y'all better go. They trying to get their commercials in, ain't they? I better go. I was being cool.
We had to save up cash to get started.
The community was established by African Americans seeking to create safe havens and economic opportunities for themselves, away from the racial segregation and discrimination that pervaded much of the South. It was a small community situated along the Cumberland River and was Clay County's second largest town at its peak, with a grist mill, school, several churches, and a few businesses. The town's promising future was halted in the 1940s when the plan to build the Dale Hollow Reservoir was announced. Residents were forced to relocate prior to the demolition of their homes and businesses and the flooding of the area. The townspeople even held a farewell celebration at a community picnic in the schoolyard in 1942. Today, the area is still submerged, and the remnants of Willow Grove, now known as the town that drowned, are hidden beneath the reservoir's surface, making it an underwater ghost town, remembered by local history and the occasional tale from old residents. With a visit to the area, you may spot the tops of buildings and structures still intact under the surface. Number 8, Guild in Marion County, Tennessee. Located along the Tennessee River, the Hales Bar Dam in Guild, Tennessee is steeped in history and haunting tales. Once a revolutionary hydroelectric facility, it was plagued by construction accidents and later decommissioned and abandoned in the 1960s. As the dam was constructed, the flooding of the area below the dam submerged an entire city, including the town cemetery. Known as Long Cemetery, it was not emptied of bodies before the flooding, and many say the spirits of those buried still haunt the site to this day. Visitors often speak of ghosts and unexplained phenomena near the powerhouse and surrounding waters. With its combination of historical significance and supernatural lore, Hales Bar Dam invites exploration for paranormal enthusiasts and curious guests alike. Number 9, Lewiston, Tennessee. The community is situated in Big Ridge State Park in Maynardville and is an underwater town that tells a story of loss and nostalgia. Once home to a vibrant community called Lewiston in the early 19th century, it was submerged in the mid-1900s when the area was flooded to create a reservoir, leaving behind remnants of homes and buildings beneath the water's surface. At the time, about 70 residents were displaced and relocated to surrounding counties. Remnants of the structures, including several businesses, schools, and churches, were covered by water and still remain below the surface of the lake to this day. Exploring the area, one gets a certain eerie stillness of the lake that often gives way to whispers of the past, with tales and struggles of those who once lived in the town surfacing in the minds of visitors. Many report sightings of old structures just below the water. The combination of serene natural beauty and ghostly lore makes Lewiston Sea at Big Ridge State Park a fascinating destination to add to your itinerary. Number 10, Tharp, Tennessee. Nestled in the rolling hills of Middle Tennessee, Tharp was once a thriving community, originally known as Iron Mountain, named for the giant furnace that was constructed in the mid-1800s due to the discovery of iron ore deposits in the area. The small town had a post office, general store, school, mills, churches, and even a doctor's office, which still stands today. Eventually, after the Civil War, A lumber company purchased the old furnace lands, and eventually a railroad tie company used the area to make railroad ties. Though the town was never incorporated, by the early 1900s, Tharp had a blacksmith shop and even a tobacco prizing factory. However, by the late 1960s, when the land between the lakes was created, the small but active town seemingly disappeared off the map. Today, remnants of the historic town can still be visited via Tharp Road, where vestiges of this once thriving small Tennessee community remain, offering a glimpse into its past.
What's up, guys? It's Lex from Los Angeles Recording School. Come check out some of the studios and gear that our students get to work with here on campus. This is our
Number 11.
Just for that, I ain't paying their ass till next year. No, I'm just playing.
Old Jefferson, Murfreesboro. Once a small town located at the original seat of Rutherford County, the town was abandoned and burned down in anticipation of a flood that never came. In the 1950s, some group of construction engineers told residents that their town would be permanently flooded to create Percy Priest Reservoir. Eventually, the town was torn down, hauled away, and its remnants were burned down. However, as the new reservoir filled up, the water did not extend as far as originally projected due to underground caves at what is now Long Hunter State Park. Although there are rumors that some old foundations and some remnants are still left in the area, a visit to the site of Old Jefferson wouldn't be complete without checking out Percy Priest Lake and other sites like Long Hunter State Park. Number 12, Old Danville Grain Elevator in Stewart County. Danville, Tennessee was once a thriving river town situated on the banks of the Tennessee River, near Kentucky Lake, and a central link between Memphis and Louisville. The town was an important commercial center, known for its bustling docks and recognizable grain elevator, which was a major hub for local agriculture. However, when the construction of Kentucky Lake in the 1940s led to the flooding of the area, much of Danville became an underwater town. Despite the town's disappearance, the large, iconic grain elevator still stands tall above the waters of Kentucky Lake, a striking reminder of the town's past and a notable landmark for those visiting the area. Number 13, Johnsonville. Johnsonville, Tennessee, was a small rural town established in the early 19th century. It was situated in Humphreys County, near the confluence of the Tennessee and Cumberland rivers. The town grew steadily, with a population of around 1,000 residents by the mid-20th century. However, the town's fate was sealed in the 1940s, when the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, began constructing Kentucky Lake. The lake was created by building a dam on the Tennessee River, which would flood a vast area, including Johnsonville. In 1945, the town was officially abandoned and its residents relocated. The buildings, homes, and infrastructure were either demolished or left to be submerged by the rising waters. Today, Kentucky Lake is a popular recreational destination, attracting tourists for boating, fishing, and other water sports. Meanwhile, the remnants of Johnsonville remain hidden beneath the lake's surface, a ghostly reminder of the town that once thrived there. Number 14, Elkmont. Nestled in the Great Smoky Mountains, National Park is a fascinating remnant of a once thriving logging community and a popular vacation spot in the early 20th century. Now the area is largely abandoned, a true Gatlinburg, Tennessee ghost town, which offers a glimpse into the past with its dilapidated cabins and historic structures. The National Park Service has been in the process of restoring many of these historic buildings since the early 1990s, with 16 cabins now preserved, restored, and open for total public access. As you wander through the overgrown paths and old homes, the eerie silence is often interrupted by whispers of the town's former residents, believed to linger in the shadows. Ghost stories abound, with visitors reporting mysterious sounds and apparitions, especially in the old resort buildings. Elkmont is a must-visit for those intrigued by both nature and the supernatural, inviting exploration of its haunted tales. Number 15, Elba Woods, North Dakota.
Man, how many more we got,
one of several Native American towns along the Missouri.
I think I'm over it. All right, I'm cool. That's enough for me. I don't care if you said you wanted to see more. If you want to see more, the full video is right there. I know you can see that. It says the untold history of flooding black towns to make lakes. All right. Whew. Couldn't watch no more of that shit. Shit starting to put me to sleep. The monotone. I'm like, man, I'm trying to hang in here, but this guy is not exciting. And like, goddamn, boy, you only got one setting. He only got one setting on his throat, and it's dry. Like, damn, man. Anyways, yeah, let me find something else. Let me find something else for us to watch, because that was just a little bit ridiculous. And that's something I just wanted to check out. You know what I mean? I got this nigga.
In a world where you've constantly been told what you can't do, who will you choose to be when...
Who the fuck I want to be? You feel me? For real, they down there put me out. Shit. It was a setup. I was like, wait a minute. This ain't going as planned.
Right now.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of Liv.
I think Diddy allegedly did him or something. It was over the Start from the Bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
You know, Drake here, Drake there. Who will run up on him? I'm not saying it. You know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky. So you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is, but I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty.
Loose lips sink ships. Who the fuck told the game to say that shit? Boy, your ass out here moving loose in the motherfucker. That's why he was on that side. That's why he was on the losing side when Kendrick slammed on his ass, and you supposed to be West Coast, and you the only West Coast nigga from Cali, from LA, blood that ain't with the Kendrick shit. What? You look at it goofy as hell. What's wrong with you? Cause you out here talking. You out here motherfuckers like you heard that nigga that this nigga out here went back pillow talk. Hey Drake, man, I heard some things and you know, I just figured I'd give you a heads up, you know, because you know, you're my guy. You know, you're my sugar daddy. Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck. But let's go ahead and hear what the fuck. Let's hear him out. Let's hear Lil Percy out.
You know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is, but I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy, so you know, we straight.
Cat Williams might have been onto something. Rappers are getting exposed left and right. Now, it's being reported that Drake's name comes up in the Diddy tapes, and not just in passing. Allegedly, you can actually hear Drake screaming in the audio. That claim hits hard, but when you look at all the information that's been building since 2014, it doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. This Diddy trial is shedding light on everything, and for the first time, the pieces are starting to fit together. Back in 2014, something major went down that set the tone for what we're seeing now. In the early hours of December 8th, after a VMA after-party, Diddy and Drake reportedly had a serious altercation. Multiple outlets confirmed it at the time. Word was Diddy caught Drake slipping outside the club and beat him down so badly, Drake had to be taken to the emergency room.
Puffy for so long and having dealings with him. What was the first thing you thought when you heard the story about him allegedly punching Drake?
He said and clicked him. Drake, I actually thought Drake must have said something wrong to him or something, or did something, or tried to play him, or something must have happened. I actually really didn't, you know, I kind of just laughed. It's funny, you know?
Although there was no footage of this, based on people that I've spoken to close to the situation, Diddy really did punch Drake in the face.
Oh, I got that call 4 o'clock.
Later on, Diddy tried to downplay the whole thing. He even went on air claiming he never laid a hand on Drake, like the world didn't already know what really happened.
I laid a fist on that boy.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is, right now, that's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake.
But according to multiple media outlets and eyewitnesses, Diddy definitely did put hands on Drake. Even 50 Cent backed the story, throwing shade by saying, Diddy couldn't recognize a hit if it was served to him. The whole beef, supposedly, started over the 0 to 100 beat. Diddy believed it was his, but Drake heard it, used it, and turned it into a hit. That move didn't sit right with Diddy, and that night in Miami, everything finally boiled over.
You know, and then Puff, that's what Puff was calling me down to do it. But Puff can't even hear a hit. See, I know he couldn't.
Puff can't hear a hit? That's kind of crazy, Fifth.
He still hear things from back then, that time.
Oh, got you now.
Right.
Okay, got you saying.
He can't buy the record. You play it for him right now, and it's hot. He can't buy it. This is why he's fighting Drake. When you hit Drake, because he used the beat that he didn't actually use.
0 to 100.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So if he heard it, and then he heard Drake's use it, but it wasn't a hit yet until Drake put the lines on it. And he's upset about that because he can't hear it, but he felt like he took something from him.
But that wasn't the end of it.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
I always fuck with
Save up to
Fifth,
23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
He don't get no fucks. That's how I'm be when I get
That was
money.
just Diddy blowing off steam. Behind the
That's how I
scenes,
am
things
now.
were shifting in a much darker way. In August 2015, Diddy went on The Breakfast Club acting like it was all love, saying there was no beef with Drake. But at the same time, rumors were flying that he had quietly put a bag on Drake's head. Word across LA was that Diddy let it be known. Anyone who caught Drake slipping would get a reward. It wasn't loud, but it was real. And that's when people around the city started moving funny.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of Live.
Look at loose lips. At it again. Look at it. He ain't even waste no time. Hold on. Let me get you this information. How you go from rapper to reporter, nigga? Fuck.
I think Diddy allegedly to him or something. I think it was over the start from the bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
Sources out of LA said there were calls going around. Drake's here, Drake's there. That's when Drake made one of his smartest moves. He linked up with the Game. Game had real pull in the streets and knew how to navigate that kind of environment. If Diddy had power in LA, Drake knew he needed someone equally connected. Game later confirmed it in his own way, saying people had reached out asking him to line Drake up. But instead of going along with it, he played defense. He looked out for Drake.
You know, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on him. I'm not saying it, you know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky. So, you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is, but I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy, so you know, we straight.
But the Game made it clear that kind of protection don't come for free. So Drake gave him the record 100, shot the video in Compton. That move wasn't about street cred, it was about survival.
Y'all better not come to my studio with that fake shit. Y'all better not come to my funeral with that fake shit. Y'all better off.
But the Game made it clear. Protection like that doesn't come for free. So Drake gave him the record 100 and even shot the video in Compton. That move wasn't about boosting street cred. It was about survival.
And Drake comes to Compton to shoot the video.
100. He shot it on Brazil and Wilmington.
What all happened during that video? What was that?
He pulled up, Drake gave us love, Stunner cleared it for me, didn't charge me, Drake didn't charge for the verse. Drake actually brought this film crew to film it for us. That's what he wanted to do. We was on the famous Brazil and Wilmington shooting it. We had to move blocks. And you know, when we move blocks, we send the little homies to do what they need to do. Drake kind of seen some activity and you know, shit. He did what a motherfucker you supposed to do. He got out of there. So we sent somebody to get him. Bro, it's cool. That ain't for you. That's for us. Because you know we seen going on. But you know we moving blocks. We're not just gonna hit the block without the block being right. So we had to make sure the homies, you know, went and cleared the block.
If you listen closely, Game said it all on the track. Ends called me to set you up. Want me to come and wet you up. 'Cause you out of town too, like Biggie. Then I heard about the St. Diddy on, so I came through to vest you up. That bar was more than lyrics. It was a receipt. The beef was real, and now it had documentation. Even with Game backing him, Drake was still moving carefully.
You hear that? Now it got documentation. 'Cause of who? What the fuck is his name? You start with a J. Let me see. Let me pull that up real quick because we don't just leave that shit in the air like that no more. So, come on now, cooperate. Come on, man. Tweaking that shit. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna keep this plan though while I figure it out.
During the shoot for 100, Whack 100 said Drake got spooked. He saw some people he didn't recognize, panicked, and jumped into a van to get out of there. The crazy part? Those guys were actually there to protect him. But Drake wasn't taking any chances. Whack had to chase him down, explain the situation, and calm him down before they could resume filming.
So Cassie, she said Diddy whooped her ass. He found out she was going to OVO Fest. So this is apparently some insight into the real reason why Diddy don't with Drake.
Don't nobody with Drake. Drake is a slimy nigga. He make great music, but Drake is the type of nigga who he can have any bitch in the club. Any bitch. They can all be 12. But you walk in with one, he want that.
Fast forward to now, Diddy's in court facing serious federal charges. But it was Cassie's testimony that flipped the whole narrative. During her redirect, prosecutors asked what set Diddy off, what triggered the violent outburst. Her answer? She was headed to OVO Fest, Drake's festival. She told the court, Sean came to my home and tried to attack me. And here's the kicker. Despite all that, she still went. Cassie caught her flight to Toronto and showed up at OVO Fest anyway. The courtroom was stunned.
That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white?
Now, if that doesn't scream motive, what does? Diddy wasn't just jealous. He felt like Drake was straight up taking his girl. And it wasn't just in his head. A 2013 rumor resurfaced during the trial, claiming Drake might have signed Cassie to his OVO imprint. Whether it was official or not didn't matter. Diddy saw it as Drake moving in on his territory. Even a tweet from Lil Duval started making the rounds again. He said, "Back then I heard Diddy swung on Drake in Miami for saying hello to Cassie. Folks laughed it off at the time, but now it's hitting a lot differently. And Drake? He had been dropping clues for years." On 4 p.m. in Calabasas, the whole track takes on a new meaning. Lines like, "All you self-promoters are janky. They trying to tempt me. The higher I get, the less they accept me. Even the OGs trying to press me. And then the jab. Take that. Take. That. No love in their heart, so they fake that." Clearly mocking Diddy's signature phrase. Even the title No Way Out is a direct nod to Diddy's debut album. Drake wasn't just rapping. He was documenting something, piece by piece. And nobody connected the dots until now. He even hinted at domestic abuse with the line, "That man is not a man for you, scared of letting your skeletons loose." It's starting to look like Cassie may have confided in Drake about her situation long before any of this made it into a courtroom. And circling back to Cat Williams, he said what nobody wanted to believe. According to him, multiple rappers and execs are on those Diddy tapes, and not just mentioned. Some, he claimed, are heard screaming. Whether those tapes captured wild parties, compromising phone calls, or something even darker. What once sounded like conspiracy suddenly doesn't. Feels so far off. And if Drake's voice really is on those tapes, that opens up even more questions. Was he involved in something, or just caught slipping? Either way, this whole story has been quietly boiling beneath the surface for years. According to multiple media outlets and legal analysts covering the trial, the tapes are still sealed. For now. But they're expected to go public once the trial wraps. And if Drake's voice is on there, screaming or not, we're talking about something way bigger than just industry beef. The internet, of course, has thoughts. One user said, "If Diddy is this bold going after high-profile names, imagine what he's done to regular people." Another added, "Diddy put hands on both Drake and Cassie. He's an equal opportunist. It's wild." So what's your reaction to this latest twist? Is Cat Williams exposing something real that's been hidden for too long? Or is he just stirring the pot like he always does? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't miss the next video on screen, because it takes this story even deeper.
Anybody trying to go, I need more deeper into this. Now, let's bring it back to the base. I always like to bring it back to the base. Back to the base. Back to the base. Let me check it here, because sometimes I could just see it easier on my phone. You know what I mean? See what we gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? I can see it easier on my phone. That's what I meant to say. That's what I was trying to say. That's what I meant when I was saying what I was saying, what I was saying, when I was meaning what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing in there. So we can go ahead and check nothing. Nothing. I was watching that, but I ain't trying to watch that now. All right, I got it. I got it. Next, I'm finna play the game. That's what I'm finna do. After this, we'll play the game.
If you somebody that's conscious, nigga, I done had death threats, all type of shit. They told me what they was gonna do to me, family, all type of shit, right? But the number one thing they do, if you dating a girl, they will give her a big bag. For her to say you molest her daughter or something. Don't date no industry girl with a daughter. Like, bro, they be going far. It's a lot of conscious niggas right now who in jail right now for shit that they didn't do. And the number one thing they try to do is destroy your image. I don't know how they're gonna destroy DDG image because he too consistent. He not normal. I told y'all it was over, in the past 20 years, there's been over 15 allegations of domestic with celebrities. Most of them being sports, they image be destroyed. You look at them, they lose sponsors, they lose money. They just looked at like they beat their girl. Years later, it gets dismissed. I won't be surprised if all this get dismissed after the damage is done. They silenced him. This is what they do. He's still gonna be lit and streaming, but he's silenced now. He can't even come out and say, bro, what this, that, blah, blah, blah. No. And y'all know who the girl is connected with. Nigga, are you kidding me?
Beyonce. I was just gonna say
You
that.
don't wanna fuck with them. You don't. I told y'all Beyonce be showing up in bitches' dreams. This is Beyonce physical form. Nigga, Beyonce is an S-rank demon, my nigga. Seriously. She not to be fucked with, bro. She's an S-rank demon. These is they mini-me's. And I fuck with Beyonce and Jay-Z. But you can't go against this in the Matrix, nigga. You can't. Notice that they...
Do you realize what Supercell is? That's not a series. That's not a series. You know what that is? That's an observation. That is an experiment. See, look, my mom used to always tell me this. She said, the message is in the movie, get the picture. The message is in the movie, get the picture. So when you look at Supercell, notice it's called super. Super means to be superior, supreme, and a cell is a small thing that has organs in it, or organelles, right? So Supercell is this series based off of black people, so-called black people. Can't be nobody else because only so-called black people get sickle cell anemia. This is only a so-called disease that's prone to us, which I believe is truly a super power gene, but we've been made to think that this is something wrong with us, right? But in this specific series, anybody that had the sickle cell trait or had sickle cell, they had the ability to react with their environment and be activated to have supernatural powers. You see that? And guess what happened? All of the people with sickle cells were kidnapped by a white government, and they were either killed, experimented on, or they had MK Ultra done to them, and they came and they worked for the government agent to go get other people that had sickle cell anemia. Now peep the basis of it though. All of them was gangbangers, selling drugs, drug users in the hood. They did it all in poverty states. Same thing as cloning Tyrone. The same exact, look, they showing us this stuff in the movies, man. But like I was talking about with toxicity, we already went through that. Deficiency. A lot of us are very deficient in minerals, phytonutrients, macronutrients, carboxylic acid, not amino acids. All right? Now what happened is we are adapting now. We're adapting to this new simulation. The sun is fake. The water is contaminated. The air is contaminated. Earth have lost all its minerals. Now our next stage is what? Mutation. It's coming. The glow up coming, man, and it can't be stopped. And the reason why is because you cannot destroy melanin and you cannot destroy carbon. You can change the way it interact with itself in the environment, but you cannot get rid of it. We don't die, we multiply. We Elohim children, man.
Facts. We don't die, we multiply.
But herpes is actually a skin parasitic. That's what it is. Herpes is a skin parasitic. It's actually called the Fasciolopsis-Bouski worm. You can actually get herpes from zootropic diseases too. Eating the wrong foods can give you herpes, y'all. Getting a zoster, can give you herpes as well. They gave a lot of us that when we was 3 years old. Notice after that, especially 80s babies. I know right after I got that in my arm, it wasn't even 2 weeks later, I had chickenpox. Chickenpox is a form of herpes. Shingles is a form of herpes. Smallpox is a form of herpes. Eczema is a form of herpes. Herpes dermatitis, itchy elbow disease.
I'm going to tell you a story. A story about humanity.
All of these are a form of herpes, and herpes is attached to a yeast fungal parasitic called Fasciolopsis-Bouski, which is a fluke worm. So when you look at what herpes is, and it's a microscopic worm at that, and it literally will go through all of these different phases where it pleomorphosizes itself to express itself throughout the nervous system of the body. So you can get herpes without sex, family. Best believe it. Best believe it. And we've been seeing a lot of children coming to us lately with herpes on their mouth because their mothers and their fathers been kissing them, or they've been letting family members kiss them while people are going through their shedding process. Just because you don't see a canker sore there don't mean that you're not having an outbreak. So we've been seeing a lot of 2-year-old, 3-year-olds, even a 7-year-old recently that have herpes outbreaks on their mouth and they don't know where they came from. I'm asking, who you been having kissing on? The family. And they were like, well, my granddad kissed him. Did your granddad ever have shingles? Yeah, he just had shingles a couple of weeks ago. That's where it came from. That's herpes. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be careful, y'all. We got to be careful. Yeah, I had chicken pox too. Chicken pox is herpes. I had chicken pox when I was 6. That's herpes. Let's just keep it 100. And you can detox this stuff out of the body, family. I do it all the time. I do this on the daily. Y'all see the healing testimonies? I do this on the daily basis, y'all. When you look at herpes, there's over 118 strands of herpes. Out of 118 strands, 26 of them strands now in 2023 are now prone to human beings. Out of 118 of them, 23 of them are prone to human beings, and they just been masking them as different names, so you never knew it was herpes in the first place, but it's all been herpes. That's why they tell you if you got a cold sore, don't do oral sex, because you can actually give genital herpes from your mouth, showing you that it's an actual skin parasite. It's a skin parasite. Just saying, family. Call me a liar. Test me on it. Hey, look. Test me on it. Go.
You notice DDG can't talk now. They silenced him. This is what they do. He's still gonna be lit and streaming, but he's silenced now. He can't even come out and say, bro, what this, that, blah, blah, blah. No. And y'all know who the girl is connected with. Nigga, are you kidding me? You don't wanna fuck with them. You don't. I told y'all Beyonce be showing up in bitches' dreams. This is Beyonce physical form. Nigga.
Now, you said something on social media the other day that outer space is the ocean.
Right.
Explain that.
I can't do it.
You can't explain it?
I can explain it, but I don't want to explain it on camera.
Is it one of those things where it's just like, we don't know what's up there and we don't know what's down there?
Kinda.
The ocean is the new outer space.
Straight up.
It is? Yeah, you know these guys who died, they were explorers like Christopher Columbus and all that.
And they do have life forms under the ocean right now in the trenches that we are yet to see. We haven't seen near some of the life forms that have been out there. Your blood has the flora and the fauna of the land in it. It means that the DNA of all the life forms on the land is in your DNA because you've been here for 20, 30,000 years. They can't say the same thing.
Read the Bible?
Not as much as I should, but I am a Christian though.
Yeah, you fake then. Christians fake. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you anyway. Look, so the Christians stole Gnosticism, fuck all them. And they killed Jesus too, so fuck all them. But let me tell you this, right?
That's great.
No, they killed Jesus. They killed Jesus. Yeah, they killed Jesus. They murdered Jesus.
That mean all Christians fake?
Yeah, all Christians fake because they got a fake religion. They stole their religion from Gnosticism in 400 AD. And they put Jesus in the middle of God. So now can't nobody even grasp or know what the fuck the afterlife is. Everybody fucked up in a long line trying to get to heaven. But the problem is, heaven long line, I'm about to go and free everybody because everybody tired of being in heaven. I've been getting messages from people up there in heaven. They've been telling me to come get them. They tired of worshiping and wearing white all day. They trying to get us in black. They trying to step out. Motherfuckers trying to pop out and create and shit. And this bitch ass God keeping the motherfucker locked down in heaven. Right? Motherfuckers trying to create. We free souls. First you keep it locked down on earth, then your bitch ass gonna lock us down in heaven. Fuck you and your heaven.
But it's heaven or hell, right?
Man, fuck hell too. Listen, Jesus already went to hell. He walked down there. Hell ain't hot. It's all in your mind, gang. Fuck hell. I never go. And if I do go, I'm gonna kill the devil.
Energy and affirmations that goes into these crystals is amazing. I can feel the energy when the
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here, man. That's all we got for today. But y'all be smooth, man. I appreciate you for tapping in for sure, bro. For sure. Red Gang _ 051. Oh no, matter of fact, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I said I was finna play the game, so I'm finna do that bro. That's definitely still finna happen. So, So, how about this? Y'all just hang tight and watch me get ready to whoop some ass. Finna get down in Brawl Hollow. Get down, little mama. Get down, little mama. Get down, little mama. Get down, little mama. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and close down. Close it. Fuck wrong with him. Trying to play me. Alright. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I'm gonna keep one of them. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it somewhere. At the top. All right. Cum droplets. Beyonce daddy. Sound built different. I mean, he ain't got nothing to do. He said dear parents. Oh shit, I'm letting whole commercials play. My bad, y'all. I'm wild as hell. You see, I was locked in right there. I had to focus. Motherfucker had to get their ass whooped. You hear me? That's why we gotta get the premium, bro. We got content. Fuck. Caught me slipping. As soon as I landed, it was on my ass. Fuck. That's some bullshit. It's not sufficient. Says I need you calm the fuck down. On God. I'll be right back. Hold on.